making a program in general, we are talking about a software that the user is going to use and interact with. Calculator, for example, when the user switch on the calculator, it will show number 0 mostly on the screen. So the user is going to see number 0. That what's shown to the user is an output. And then when the user enter any number and then choose the operator like plus, minus, so that is when the user start to input the information. And all of that will be a part of the user interaction. A computer will depend or rely on inputs, then it will process it, and finally we will get the output. So starting with the input from the user and ends with output or showing a result to the user. Shortly, we say I/O, input, output. So when talking about our C programming, we know this block already. I mean, we have include, we have the main function, and then there will be some statements inside it within the block. To output a statement in C, you know it already with the printf hello world, right? So we use a built-in function. To use the printf, you must include the studio.h, all right? And yeah, you know that the syntax of printf is some string followed with a couple of arguments. Basically, printf has 3 parts. The first part is the function name, which is printf. The second part is the format string. And the third part is the list of arguments. Let's start with the second part, which is the format string. Format string itself consists of several parts. It has a string to be shown. So if, for example, if we say hello world, so okay, hello world will be shown to the user. It has also conversion specification characters, number of arguments, and also argument types. You can see it highlighted here with the gray color. So here, that means we are going to insert a decimal number. Here, that means we are going to insert a string, right? And also escape character, such as /n, which means add a new line. So this is the format string, and it has all of these parts inside it. Talking about conversion specification, we have a C for character, S for string, D or I for decimal integer, F for float, and we have other conversion specifications. Escape characters, there is \n, which means add a new line. So if it print hello world /n and then anas, so it's going to print hello world in one line and then anas on another line. There is also /a for bell, and this is used to make an alert or bell or ring. Okay, there is /b to delete a letter. You know, you have backspace button on your keyboard. So if you add this one, it's going to delete one character from the text there. \f is to add a page break. And there are much more escape characters. So of course, you are going to use it based on your needs. Coming to the second part, or the last part of the printf, the arguments. So we have argument here, number 10, another argument here as array character, right? Array of characters. So basically, when talking about arguments, we are talking about literal value, specific value, or a variable or a function. So you can add just literal values directly like this, constant values. You can add a variable name as well as a function. A complete statement, printf with D to add decimal number. So it's going to take this decimal number and place it here on the output screen. And then boys and 11, it will take this string from here, girls in this room. So it's going to show 10 boys and 11 girls in this room. And here's a complete, here's another example. With the integer main, we have male student equal 10, and then female student equal 15. Printf, salam, /n, special character. So it's going to be in new line. This classroom has D, which is referred to male students, 10. has 15 female students, and this one is for female, so it's going to take the female, 15 male students. Okay, there is some logic error in this code. So here have to be male, and this one have to be female. Logical error, okay? So the program is going to run properly, but the values are not going to be shown properly. Anyway, so we have been talking about outputting to the screen or showing the user. Coming to the second part, which is inputting by the user. So the user can input information, as you know already, by using scanf. And it is, let's say, the opponent of printf. However, it may look like printf. Okay, so it have integer, scanf, constant character format, followed with optional arguments. Okay. However, we need to treat it with careful because argument in scanf are pointers. That's why we add the ampersand. And operator, okay? Because we're dealing with the address of the variable. And scanf mostly read from a keyboard, or what we call a standard input. So scanf parts are, as you know, the format string as well as the argument. Format string has optional fields, the width and the size. And that's why if you are going to print a floating point, for example, you may add like number 2 before it. So we want the number with only 2 digits of the fraction. If we are talking about strings, so okay, here we specify with 5 characters only, right? And as you can see, this is the ampersand or the and, because we refer to the address of X. If we use it with an array, so there is no need for the ampersand. And this is a complete example. So for example, we have scanf, enter your GPA, and then we have .2f. So it's going to have 2 fraction points. And then the user will be asked to enter his GPA as a student. So after that, it's going to print your GPA depends on the user. So if it's 80, so it's going to print your GPA is 80. To sum up, simple statements, example of it are printf and also the scanf. In conclusion, in computer, we have input, output, and processing between them. So to output data to the screen, we use a printf, and then to get user input, we use scanf, and then to process data. How to process data? Next.